I want to tell you something very personal today. Something that changed my life in ways I could never have imagined. It all begins with one simple truth. Your mood cannot be trusted, but your plan can. I didn't always know this. For years, I lived as a slave to my moods. If I felt motivated, I worked hard. If I felt tired, I procrastinated. If I felt sad, I shut down. If I felt happy, I overindulged. And the result? My life was a roller coaster. Up and down, forward and backward, never steady, never consistent. Then one day, I asked myself a question that shook me. What if my dreams don't care about my moods? What if the only way to get there is to stick to the plan no matter how I feel? That question became the beginning of my transformation. Let me take you back. I remember waking up one morning, alarm clock ringing at 5:30. I had promised myself the night before that I would start a new routine. Wake up early, exercise, read, and build the habits of a high achiever. But when I opened my eyes, my mood betrayed me. My body whispered, "Just stay in bed, you deserve it. It's too cold. You're too tired." And I listened. That day slipped through my fingers. And so did the next day. And the one after that. Soon, the excitement of my new routine was gone, replaced by guilt and self-hatred. This is the trap of moods. They are unpredictable, fragile, and deceitful. One day you feel like conquering the world, and the next you feel like hiding from it. And if you let your mood dictate your actions, you will live an unstable life. I realized that my moods had become my prison guards. And every time I obeyed them, I locked myself deeper inside the cell. It wasn't until I created a plan, a written, structured, unshakable plan, that things began to change. And here's the key. I made a vow to myself that I would stick to the plan, not my mood. The plan became my anchor, my North Star, my non-negotiable commitment. When my alarm rang at 5:30, I didn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" I asked, "What does the plan say?" When I sat down to work, I didn't ask, "Am I in the mood to write today?" I asked, "What does the plan require?" It was hard at first. My mood screamed at me. They tried to seduce me, distract me, tempt me with comfort. But slowly, day by day, something miraculous happened. Discipline started replacing feelings. And that's when my life shifted. Why moods can't be trusted? Think about this. Moods are like the weather. One day sunny, the next cloudy, the next stormy. You can't build a house depending on the weather. You build it with a solid foundation no matter what the sky looks like. Your plan is that foundation. If you rely on moods, you'll start things but never finish them. You'll have bursts of energy followed by crashes of despair. You'll live in cycles of guilt and regret. But if you stick to a plan, you break the cycle. You create consistency. And consistency is the true currency of success. I'll never forget the day I forced myself to act against my mood. I had promised myself I would run 5 kilometers. But that morning everything inside me said no. My legs felt heavy, my head foggy, my heart unmotivated. I almost gave in. But then I whispered, "Stick to the plan, not your mood." I laced up my shoes and ran. The first kilometer was torture. The second was worse. But by the third something strange happened. My body adapted. My mind sharpened. My mood shifted. By the time I finished the 5th kilometer, I felt like a different person. That day taught me something priceless. Moods follow actions, not the other way around. If you wait for the right mood, you may wait forever. But if you act according to the plan, the mood will eventually catch up. Discipline is not built overnight. It's built through small victories stacked together, like bricks building a wall. Every time you choose the plan over the mood, you lay a brick. The wall grows stronger, taller, more unbreakable. And soon it becomes your fortress, protecting you from laziness, fear, and doubt. For me, it started small. Wake up at the same time every day. Write 1 page. Read 10 minutes. Exercise for 15. Over time, the small commitments grew into bigger ones. And because I had trained myself to trust the plan, I didn't negotiate with moods anymore. There's an old story I love. A grandfather tells his grandson, "Inside me are 2 wolves. One is lazy, weak, and full of excuses. The other is disciplined, strong, and full of purpose. And these two wolves are always fighting. The boy asks, "Which one wins?" The grandfather replies, "The one I feed." That's what sticking to the plan is. Every time you follow your plan instead of your mood, you feed the disciplined wolf. And slowly, it becomes stronger, until the lazy wolf can no longer control you. Sounds ironic, but structure creates freedom. When I first created a plan, I thought it would feel like a prison. Waking up at the same time, working at set hours, following routines, it felt restrictive. But then I realized something profound. Because I had structure, I was free. Free from wasted time. Free from guilt. Free from the anxiety of indecision. I didn't waste energy wondering, what should I do now? The plan decided for me. All I had to do was execute. And that execution gave me more freedom than moods ever could. Course, sticking to the plan is not always easy. Life throws curveballs, unexpected challenges, emotional storms. But here's the truth. If you abandon your plan every time life gets hard, you will never go far. I remember losing someone I loved deeply. The pain was unbearable. My mood was shattered. I wanted to stay in bed for weeks. But I also knew that if I allowed grief to destroy my structure, I might never recover. So I gave myself space to feel, but I didn't abandon the plan completely. Even on the darkest days, I did the minimum. Wake up, journal, move my body, work for one focused hour. It wasn't perfect, but it kept me moving. And slowly, the discipline carried me out of the darkness. That's the power of a plan. It doesn't just build success. It saves you when emotions try to drown you. Do you think world-class athletes always feel like training? Do you think authors always feel like writing? Do you think entrepreneurs always feel like working long hours? Course not. Champions are not driven by moods. They are driven by commitment, by discipline, by an unshakable devotion to the plan. That's why they win. And if you want to be a champion in your own life, in your health, your career, your relationships, your dreams, you must learn to live above your moods. Today, my life looks very different. I still have moods. Good days, bad days, highs and lows. But they no longer control me. 'Cause I have a plan. And the plan wins every time. Do I always feel like working out? No. Do I always feel like writing? No. Do I always feel like sticking to my commitments? Absolutely not. But I do it anyway. Because I learned the secret. Success doesn't care about your mood. It only cares about your actions. And the actions are guided by the plan. So let me ask you, what is your plan? Do you even have one? Or are you still letting your moods decide your future? Because here's the truth. Your dreams will not wait for you to feel ready. Your goals will not pause until you're in the mood. Life will pass with or without your commitment. You must decide today. Create your plan. Commit to it. And promise yourself, no matter how I feel, I will stick to the plan. The next time you wake up tired, stick to the plan. The next time you feel lazy, stick to the plan. The next time your mood says, not today, stick to the plan. Because moods are temporary. But discipline is forever. And when you live this way, something extraordinary happens. You realize that freedom, happiness, and success are not about how you feel in the moment. They're about who you become through consistency. And who you become is unstoppable. I used to live by my moods and it made me weak. Now I live by my plan and it made me powerful. So remember this. Stick to the plan, not your mood. Your future self will thank you.